What is going on, everybody? I want to thank you for joining me for another video. I am your host, Crypto Glenn, and today we are going over article I was reading about here not too long ago, and it's the most friendly countries for Bitcoin users, or the world's most crypto-friendly countries for Bitcoin users. I'm sure with the state of everything going on in crypto right now, you could actually substitute this for cryptocurrency. Now, the scope of this article isn't to say how many people own cryptocurrencies in these locations, but more so what is the financial regulation like and what is the financial infrastructure to kind of help, or even the regulation to help cryptocurrencies thrive in these locations. So, number one at the list here is Malta. And if you've been paying attention to anything regarding cryptocurrency as of late, you know, Malta just had a really big summit there where they actually had a great number of representatives from cryptocurrencies from all across the world to kind of discuss what will be, I guess, the technology of tomorrow and how Malta is going to be extremely friendly to cryptocurrencies. If you're curious, Malta is actually south of Italy, just really off the coast. If you kind of look at a picture of Italy, how it's kind of shaped like a boot. See if I can pull up a map here. Okay, so here Malta is down here, this teeny little island. Again, it's also been dubbed Crypto Valley. And here is Italy. So you've got Malta that's going to be this really big player, in my opinion, in crypto amongst, you know, these other big countries, some of which that are starting to echo its sentiments in terms of needing to be crypto friendly. But unlike the US, if you're in the US, you know how much of a headache it has been for the field of ICOs, or even just to even get a decent framework of what is or what is not a security. Malta has been very proactive in terms of making their regulation and their banking systems infrastructure in terms of allowing people to not only invest in cryptocurrencies but also to help the space grow. They've been very proactive. One of the benefits of Malta doing so is that it will open up their entire economy for further investment in a region where offshore investment is generally difficult. Malta's banks have been slowly removing themselves as an offshore banking center, with many now refusing to accept foreign companies or even non-EU resident individuals for bank accounts. Malta will offer crypto startups an established regulatory body along with low net corporate rates, and even a possibility for EU bank account opening. So that's pretty cool. I mean, Malta, I think they got it right when they said, hey, we're going to offer you low corporate rates. I think low corporate rates is often a very attractive thing for anyone who owns a business to hear, as again, it lowers your corporate tax. As far as the capital gains tax, I do believe I read somewhere else that Malta is actually a zero capital gain state. Location means if you invest in a coin and it shoots up 300%, you want to cash out, you don't actually pay any capital gains on that. So very cool. Liechtenstein, if you pay attention to any of the digital asset investors videos, you know that he is always talking about Liechtenstein, and for good reason. The tiny locale of Liechtenstein is not of two double landlocked countries in the world. It's also becoming one of the most Bitcoin friendly countries, again, cryptocurrency, countries in the world. The country's outsized banking system, which has become off limits to United States citizens, and all but the ultra rich as of late have started opening up to crypto bankers at shops like Bank Frick, are not only dealing with cryptos for the clients, but they're even advising on ICOs. Again, this is another situation where you have, if you look at what's going on in the States, they are trying to distance themselves from ICOs or make it fairly harder for ICOs to take off. You've got places like Malta and Liechtenstein that are actually very welcoming to ICOs. Now, what is ICO? ICO is nothing more than a startup company with an idea that hopes to one day be able to successfully execute on that idea. These two locations that we've gone over very briefly are promoting and spurring growth within this what will soon be a very fast and emerging new economy. And again, being first to market has its benefits. Liechtenstein's crown prince is courting the crypto community, claiming that he himself is investing, and reminding that while Liechtenstein is in the heart of Europe, it's not in the European Union. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Liechtenstein is right here, just to the east of Switzerland, west of Austria. south of Germany and north of Italy, just to kind of, if you're not, maybe you're listening to this video doing something else and you're not quite looking at the screen, just to kind of give you an idea of where Liechtenstein is located. Bermuda is also on the list, and it basically says they've been a long leader in the insurance company that's now looking to reinvent themselves. What better way than to get a hold of a hot emerging market? The New York Times just recently recognized Bermuda as one of the emerging destinations for courting crypto business and investors. The premier, which is basically like the president of the United States, but in Bermuda, David Burt told the Times that with just 65,000 people in 20 square miles, we want to position Bermuda as the incubator for this industry. Got an idea? Take it to Bermuda. Very, very nice. Switzerland. Switzerland, if you've been paying attention to the crypto space as of late, they have been in the news a great deal, and we're going to talk a little about this more here in a little bit. Switzerland is home to hundreds of blockchain startups, most headquartered in the low tax, very, very attractive to corporations, canton of Zug. So canton is pretty much like a city or location, and Zug would be in Canton, so kind of like the territory of Canton, Zug. So city, territory, if you will, or like city-state, again, if you're in the U.S., which has been dubbed Crypto Valley. It's also attempting to become Crypto Nation, according to Switzerland's economics minister. While Switzerland has lost its luster as the world's go-to economic haven, it may be able to redeem itself with crypto. Frankly, I think Switzerland, if you're paying attention to the economics of it, has quite often been able, through reinventing themselves, has been able to ward off any real problematic economic downtrends or even global recessions. I'm not really sure how they do it in detail, but I think one of the ways that they do it is that they're able to remain nimble where other established countries are kind of like cruise ships or like aircraft carriers. It takes them 10 days just to make a turn, where Switzerland, it seems like they can do it overnight. So good for them. A couple other countries here: Antigua, Barbuda. Just says last month these two locations joined its citizenship in exchange for Bitcoin. So basically what this is saying is it's offering its upstart citizenship in exchange for Bitcoin. The reason is simple: the more crowded filled passport for sale offers tighter restrictions on the U.S. flow of dollars in the 5 spec islands, means countries like Antigua need to diversify. Perhaps Antigua is accepting Bitcoin as payment more out of an inherent need than a newfound love for cryptos. Well, however you get to the crypto world, as long as you get there, I guess, and even more so as long as you're ahead of any major developed nations, then, I guess you're really in a good spot. So basically, Vanuatu and Antigua, they offer an economic citizenship score that's lower on the individual who wrote this article's list. The two island nation reduced its price to passports from $125,000 in respective currency during the Caribbean citizenship price wars, but requires you to live in a country for a whopping 5 days before being nationalized. So if you've been looking at a way to possibly get out of your capital gains, or if you need a citizenship so you can, again, establish your crypto business, all you have to do is just live there for 5 days and you'll be well on your way. So we've got it: Malta, Liechtenstein, Bermuda, Switzerland, Vanuatu, Antigua, Barbuda, and Georgia. So goes on to say here that the longtime readers of this site know that this individual, again, who wrote the article, is a big fan of Georgia's government. While Georgian banks aren't much favor of cryptocurrency, the government of Georgia was one of the earliest adopters in blockchain technology. East Georgia has always been one of the more wealthiest places or parts of the country, thanks to part vineyards with wine and ancient Georgian tradition, great picking. Today, some of the valleys are home to crypto mining operations. Why? I guess the electricity in Georgia is subsidized, so it makes it really cheap, which makes it easier to mine some cryptocurrencies. The government is slowly opening up to the idea of cryptocurrencies, with the political party allowing its flock to use their computers to mine. Wow, okay, so the government is actually mining Bitcoin. Interesting. Unlike Liechtenstein or Switzerland, Georgia is dirt cheap to live in, offers interesting way of life, and offers a possibility for citizenship entrepreneurs without waiting dozens of years with other countries on the list. So I hope you've got what's being said here without me or even the individual who wrote this article to actually having to directly have said it. Taking a look here again, Switzerland also in the news as a title from Cryptocurrency News reads here: world's first crypto ETP gets green lighted in Switzerland. Now this has a lot of people excited because everybody has been waiting for the ETF from the United States to kind of get underway and get launched, and Switzerland's just like, damn it, you guys are taking too long, we're going to do this ourselves. So the ETP will be listed on the SIX Swiss exchange and is going to be made up of a few cryptocurrencies. Some that we know of will be Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin. With Bitcoin Cash taking a little bit of a dump right now, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. It'll be real interesting to see how the price of Bitcoin Cash, once this go live, once it goes live, to see how the price of Bitcoin Cash reacts. Litecoin is going to be in there as well. What I found extremely interesting was the way that they had this pie. Basically, there's going to be an ETF basket. It's not just going to be one cryptocurrency. It's going to be, again, made of all these, but you know, the entirety of the fund, if you will, is weighted a different kind of way. So the main two contenders, or the two coins that will hold the most weight, take up the most share of the pie in this ETF or this ETP rather, excuse me, are Bitcoin and XRP, which is really funny because XRP just jumped over Ethereum for the #2 spot on CoinMarketCap. You can get a look at this article as well as other supporting documents, articles on ccn.com. It's right there on their homepage. If you haven't heard about it, definitely check it out. It's going to be very, very interesting. It says here that they received preliminary approval from the SIX exchange regulation in September, which clearly stated that the company's ETP would be eligible for a listing on the exchange. The fintech company was established by a team of bankers whose goal is to make the process of buying cryptocurrency as simple as possible in a regulated manner. I think depending on how far the US has gotten with their ETF, the success or the failure of this product here, we could see the US maybe tailor their ETF, or creators of those ETFs, around, again, depending on how this one does. Not really sure. I mean, it's complete speculation on my half as of now, but I think if it does significantly well, and especially if it does significantly well in a short time period, then you'll probably have other ETFs coming online just to try and compete. So ETFs and ETPs aren't always a good thing. I mean, you can do things like short, but I mean, hey, we can shorten the market now. I think, however, that the redeeming qualities that these bring to market significantly outweigh some of the cons that, you know, you may be able to come up with. And again, you can also get the same article here on Cointelegraph.com. I was hoping that it was going to have a picture of how the coin is basically, or how the fund is basically going to be divvied up, but I'm not seeing it. You can actually see it on our Twitter page. And if you're not following us on Twitter, please be sure to do so. We love talking to you guys. And basically, here it is. So if you look at this coin, you can see that the bright yellow is Bitcoin, the kind of pinkish color is Ripple, the white is Ethereum, the olive color is Bitcoin Cash, and the smallest portion of this pie is actually going to be Litecoin. So again, it's actually coming out sometime next week. I'm excited to see how it performs. I'm excited to see what kind of price action or price effect it has, or what kind of effect it has on price action in the markets. I think a lot of people will be excited, and we could see positive price action. Salt is also in the headlines this evening. The US again has basically clamped down on another ICO. It's not even in the ICO stage anymore, but I guess maybe the SEC got backlogged, don't know. And now they are investigating Salt. Basically, Salt Lending, a cryptocurrency loan provider who raised tens of millions of dollars during the initial coin offering with support from crypto pioneer Eric Voorhees, has become the latest blockchain firm to attract attention from the U.S. security regulators. Let's just let crypto be great, huh? Basically, they're suggesting that in February, the SEC subpoenaed Salt seeking information about its $50 million token sale, which was conducted last year during the ICO boom. Then this gentleman here, Eric Voorhees, was basically in hot water because he had taken a plea deal that basically barred him from being able to divulge or be incorporated or be a part of any digital securities, whether it be ICO, investing, whatever the case may have been. And because he is actually part inventor, as supporting documents down here say, this is basically what caught the attention of the SEC. And I can't imagine that this has great effects on the price of salt. We'll take a look at it here in just a second. But according to the Wall Street Journal, the SEC is also investigating, again, Eric Voorhees, a former salt advisor and a board member, violated a 2014 SEC settlement that barred him for participating in any issuance of a security in an unregistered transaction in exchange for any virtually current currency, including Bitcoin, for a period of 5 years. So, yeah, I mean, moral of the story is there, if you're being investigated by the SEC, it's probably not a good idea to continue to keep up with your ill-advised behavior. And speaking of ill-advised behavior, Tron has just launched their decentralized exchange on tronscan.com. If we take a look at this here. Now, normally I would look at this as it's a good thing, but one of the reasons why I love talking to you guys on Twitter is because oftentimes you will send me information that I may not know, or you will help me find the answers to something that I am researching. And some of you have been sending me conversations that are being had by Trayvon James, Craig Grant, two of the largest promoters to promote the BitConnect Ponzi scheme of 2017. And honestly, man, for me, this is a huge problem. When I came to basically this website to look at what coins were being offered, a great many of these seem like, excuse the my French, but shit coins supporting another shit coin, and more fraudulent coins. I went through and I combed about a good number of these, and since then there have been more. And you just got to look at some of these. So the Watson AI, anyone who knows what Watson is basically IBM's artificial intelligence system. Now, if someone is pretending to be a part of the IBM development team and are asking you to donate into the Watson AI, and apparently it's working. They've got 44,000 token holders. They've got 49 million coins that are currently circulating, and a total supply of 1 billion. Guys, the folks at IBM are smart enough to not need to be able to develop on Tron. Like, Tron, frankly, is beneath what IBM has going on. When I saw this, and when I saw some of the other, I mean, this is just like, it's like crypto all over again. When crypto first started getting, hot. Dogcoin, remember the crazy coin in 2017? Yes, we're back. Dogcoin is a sister of Dogecoin. It's a myth. It will reproduce. Like, come on. And people are actually buying this crap. This is nothing more than a Tron grab for, some dev that wants to come up with their own coin. Like, these coins, they serve no purpose. And if this is what a decentralized internet looks like, then you can take a look here at, the exchange. And they sent me conversations about, pumps and dumps that had been happening. They had gotten together to talk about when they were getting into a coin and when they were going to sell it. And that's basically what you're seeing here. And, after seeing it, I had just sold all my Tron. I was like, this is not, you know what I mean? Like, I do not want to, look at this, pumps, and then they dumped it. And this is not what I want to be a part of. If this is what a decentralized exchange or a decentralized internet looks like, I'm fine with the way it is right now. Sold all my Tron. If Justin Sun is not going to step in, and if he is not going to you know, make these guys have any recourse for their actions. I'm like, this is not a project that I want to be a part of. And the only thing these guys are trying to do is get the amount of Tron that they have up without having to buy it. It's already a cheap coin. And the thing you've got to keep in mind is, well, why is it a cheap coin? Okay. We're going to do a full video on that with supporting evidence and, you know, the like. Again, interesting time for crypto. You've got the world's first ETP coming next week. Can't wait to see what this does for the crypto space as a whole. Salt, let's take a look at salt before we get out of here. The market itself, I mean, it's pretty much green today. Bitcoin's having somewhat of an alright day. If we take a look at today's biggest gainers, we got Factum, that it's up 45%. That's probably a pump of some sort. Digitex future. Digitex has actually been appearing a lot lately on top 3 biggest gainers. And BO S coin, which is up almost 12.5%. Let's look at today's biggest losers. Metaverse down 4%, Nexo down almost 2.5%, Electroneum down 2.3%, Redcoin, God, really had, you know, I was really liking this coin back in the day when I first got into crypto, and it's just really crapped the bed since. Yeah, that is looking to market a whole lot of coins that people have probably never really heard of, maybe with the exception of, you know, Electroneum. Redcoin, I just think is dead. It just needs to go the way of the dodo bird. Let's look at salt here. And maybe off the news, I mean, the losses for salt today aren't really that bad. They're only down 1%. It's not terrible. Actually, I was expecting to see somewhat of a bigger loss, especially with it being at, you know, somewhat of a respectable 41 cents. Maybe as that news continues to get out, we'll see what kind of effect that has on the price. But guys, for the most part, that's the video. Like it if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you have, I really, really, really appreciate it. None of this that happens on this channel is possible without subscribers and without you guys. And again, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. So if you haven't already, make sure you follow us on Twitter at CryptoGlenn. You can subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Liked, leave a comment. Want to know what you guys are thinking. If you guys have any questions, let us know. Be happy to answer them. And again, I appreciate you guys for joining in and tuning into this video. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you decided to be here with us, and we appreciate it. We will see you guys in the next one. Peace.